I wasn't ready. Okay. Let's talk. Ozempic. And I guess it was ready for me, even though I wasn't ready for it, right? Hey guys, how y'all doing? Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. And the reason why I want to talk about this today is because it's a lot of data that's coming out right now about it, right? Hold on. I'll be back. Um and this may be bothering me because I am a person who's been on a weight loss journey for a while. Not a weight loss journey. I just a person that have lost a lot of weight. And I honestly don't care what you do to lose weight. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not one of those people like you gotta do it naturally. You gotta do it at your own, like you gotta do it this way in the highway, whatever. I think everybody's body is so different and it's so unique to each person. So you gotta figure out what works for you. Hold on, what I just do. Oh. So you gotta figure out what works for you. Okay. That's probably my biggest thing, I would say. You have to figure out what works for you. You cannot go by anybody else. And that's really important. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this for you, for everybody. I really don't care what you do to lose weight. I honestly do not care. Do you? I don't care if you get surgery. I don't care if you get as many um what is it called? What's the thing they take the stuff out your body? Liposuction. I don't know why I could think liposuction. I don't care if you do it's up to you because it's your body. Like really, it really is. The only thing with this though that is different is that it's so many side effects so quickly. And they're not really being told to the public. And so when you look at this, and when people are saying it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, you got to remember that a lot of not only medical professionals and nurses are drug pushers at this point. They're not really concerned about your health overall. They may be concerned about your aesthetics, but your health is a different story. Okay? They may be concerned about you look a certain size, which because the propaganda is you look a certain size and you automatically are healthy. The goal is to lose weight to get healthy, right? It is not to lose weight and be unhealthy. That is not the goal. The whole objective of you losing weight is so that you can be in a healthier state. Okay? It is not for you to risk your livelihood and not be able to function as a person to lose weight. That is not the trade-off you want, guys. And my concern with it at this point, no, that's Young Dolph. And my concern on it at this point is that I did not know it was literally removing the receptions, the receptions from you to be able to be connected to your sacral chakra and for you to even experience pleasure or even want to have a human experience in the world. So most people like, and you go directly to, I want to, I don't care because I don't want to have sex. I don't care. I'm not gonna date anybody. I don't care because I ain't doing it anyway. That's the immediate response you get because in America we have not been taught what the chakras really mean. Okay? We think it only means the one dumbed down thing. We have no clue that your chakras has everything to do with how you are operating as a human being. So if you're not connected to your sacral chakra, you can't create art, books, business, this, that, and other, etc. Your discernment is then going to fall off. You also are not going to be aware of what's happening around you. So this is getting way more deeper than what I thought. And I know that we're splitting, the old world to the new world. I know that the level of consciousness is splitting, and some people be in the old world, some people in the new world, and the great divide and all this stuff. But I had no clue that it was so deep that they would put it in the medicine that people would want, because people naturally, of course, want to fit in, so to say, right? That's the human nature. Everybody has their level of attention that they want. Some of us want attention from the crowd. Some of us want attention from our loved ones. Some of us want attention just from that special love, that special person. Some of us want attention from our kids. Everybody has different level of attention they want, right? And some people, it truly is, I want a dopamine of likes. I want people to tell me I look good. I want people to tell me I'm healthy, this, that, and other, etc. It's just, again, I'm telling you this. I don't care what you do to lose weight. I honestly do you. Do you all you want. All I'm telling you right now is, really, if you decide to go that route, make sure you get a doctor that takes health serious. I'm not talking about the superficial health. I'm not talking about the American health complex health. I'm talking about a doctor that's going to look through your blood work like his life depended on it or her life depended on it every month, and really watch how your body is responding and reacting. Now, I haven't thought nothing about it because honestly, I would never put anything in my system that I don't know what it is. It's just that's just naturally is not going to be my thought process, no matter what it is. If I was like really going to do something to lose weight, if I was like really that desperate, I would just have surgery. I'm always the type person, I'd rather you take it out than put it in. Okay. That's just my thought process, because once you put something foreign in your body is a machine, is going to start fighting, or it's going to have some type of reaction. So when you don't know what's in your bodies and messing with your chemicals, and every single person is different, you don't know, right, what that may be and what that may cause. And you don't want to put something in your system that may change your complete livelihood, right? So like if you are causing, I need to send these emails out. So if you are causing yourself to possibly not be able to walk in the future, not be able to see, not be able to have a working stomach, not being able to go to the bathroom on your own, those type of things. Because this is what I've noticed over the last few weeks, which has been crazy, because I don't even talk about it because I don't even consider it, number one. But it's been folks that are like people who do like my nails, or people who house clean and stuff like that, that service folks, okay? And they're like, their clients that are on this are no longer functioning as human. Not as human, but you can tell that their daily movement is being impacted, okay? And so the one thing that for women, this is why this is almost diabolical at this point. It's really kind of sad, to be real. When we get over a certain age, we definitely naturally pick up weight, right? And if you're in America, you're already dealing with the stress of America, the products in the food, the products in the food products, the things, all the chemicals and everything. So that causes the whole inflammation, and then you're dealing with hormonal differences, right? For perimenopause, menopause. And so the natural thing is, I want to hurry up and get back to my size I was, or the size I want to be, no matter what that cost is, right? Because then when I'm out and about in society, that's what society is going to see immediately is your, because we're in a capitalistic society. It's all about competition. It's very much superficial. So most people are going to go by that superficial look, right? And so naturally, if you're not a confident person, you have deep down trauma, you haven't got to that level of I look good or regardless, that is something that could definitely trip you up to put something in your body that may eventually, you want to understand that we naturally lose muscle. as we get older. Naturally. This is something that we have to combat. That's why they be like, if you menopause, perimenopause, you have to start strength training. You have to watch your stressors. You have to do this because if you don't, then you're going to have these issues. That is very important. Okay. So you have to understand if you start putting something in your body that is also making you now lose muscle, what does that mean? You need muscle just to go to the bathroom, guys. I want you to begin to understand the magnitude of this. Just because you've been on something for a year or two, you're not going to know the magnitude of anything until 5 years later. 5 to 10 years later is when you're going to know how that particular thing impacted you. Only reason why I know this is because I've been on weight journey. You can go look through my YouTube page. I've told you all my weight journey, all this and that, how I've lost weight, etc., and so forth. And I can tell you when I stopped eating red meat, lost all the weight, etc., I did not get iron deficiency until probably about 7 years after that. But that was literally because I cut meat out of my diet and I did not replace it, red meat out of my diet, and I did not replace it with like an iron supplement immediately. And I didn't really replace it with the iron needs. So the average American citizen is not going to do all the things to make sure it counterbalances whatever reactions we're having to the food or whatever changes we decide to make in our day or bodies, right? So if we start taking something, we know it naturally removes our muscle. We know that it's naturally going to cause us to start losing our hair. We know that it's naturally going to possibly cause stomach paralysis if we're not eating a high protein diet and we're not in training training heavily. The average person is not going to do that. That's the whole reason why they're looking for the fix, right? To go ahead and take something so that way, necessarily that extra work is not put into it. But if you decide to go that route, then you have to do the extra work to counterbalance what the symptoms is that come along with it. You want to do that because I'm concerned because I wasn't even talking about this, and I have the people, my service providers telling me that their clients that are on it are looking 10 to 15 years older and they no longer can function as human beings. That is not anything normal about that. That is not anything that you want to really trade off for. That is so many other options to lose weight besides doing the shot. That do that instead. I'm just being honest. Go ahead and just get the sleeve, get the gastric bypass, go do that instead. It just makes way more sense. Those things have been around for decades and people have survived, they're living, they are functioning fine. They are still alive with us. They're not going blind. They're not having any problems with their stomachs. Those type of things. They have been tried and true. But to sign up for something that you put in your body and you shoot up that you possibly have to shoot up for the rest of your life, and as you get older, your income changes, things happen, you may not even be able to afford it. So what happens if you can't take the shot? What does that leave you with? Because what was changed in your body, inside your system and your structure, that now you're stuck with something that you didn't really want. Okay? I would say that I wouldn't chance it. Of course, it's up to you and your souls and what you decide to do in your soul journey. Like I keep telling everybody during this time, everybody going to determine what they want to do. Some people going to be totally with the control grid. Some people going to be totally against it. Some people going to be in the middle. Some people going to be trying to become the capitalists of the elite. And some people just like, I just want to be in poverty. I don't care about everybody else starving. You're going to see some of everything. And everybody gets to determine where they want to go, what they want to do. Right? But because that is impacting your connection to one of your chakras, it is way deeper than just your desire, guys. I know that America has dumbed you guys down to not understand how the body really works and what all the chakras really mean and how critical that is. That's not a good thing. You never want to put anything in your body that's going to disconnect you from any of your chakras. if you can prevent it. Now, if it happens, whole different story. But if it just, you know what I'm saying? But if it's something that you're starting to see that is the case and that's what's happening, as a woman, your main objective is to be connected to your womb. This has nothing to do with sex, this, that, and other. It does, but that's the minute of it. Your whole womb is your life force energy as a woman. If they're removing you from that, this is how they get to zombies. This is how they get to Handmaid's Tale. This is how they get to that other thing, whatever, where women don't even understand what's really going on and they're just following the cult. I thought I just was like, that can't be true. I was trying to really make sure it wasn't true. And I did read up on it because I was like, nah, this can't be the case. They couldn't put nothing out here that really is disconnecting people from their chakras. They wouldn't do that. I stand corrected. So my suggestion, honestly, if you're in alignment with this video, is just to go ahead and just do the other surgery. If you're at a point where you're like, I just can't figure it out, I don't want to deal with the weight, I've been trying to get it off forever, this, that, and other, get the surgery. Just do the surgery. Leave the shots alone. Because what you don't want to do is put your loved ones in a space where they have to then take care of you 5 to 10 years from now. And of course, everybody's gonna have different extremes of it, right? Because I always see people in the comments like, well, it helped me. That doesn't mean don't help the person next to you. That doesn't mean that the next person has a completely different reaction than you. They have disassociated y'all from each other so much in America, y'all don't even understand how things can impact other people totally different. So I just want to tell y'all this because that is like one of the newest side effects that hasn't really circulated like it needs to and really have that conversation. But you're going to start hearing about that even more heavily because that is such a huge disconnect and a big problem. And I was like, OMG, this is how we get to zombies. Where people are so disconnected from their discernment and their chakras that they don't even know what's going on in the world. They don't even see what's going on in front of them. That's scary to me. I don't know, y'all. I suggest you do the other thing. So I suggest you don't play with it. Just do the other stuff. The other stuff that's been around for decades. Do that instead. If it's that deep, do that. You know, some of us just like, we gonna work out, we gonna do what we do, we gonna eat right, we gonna let it be what it is. We ain't gotta do all that. But there's no shot to people who feel like they really want to do that because they really want to lose the weight. Totally fine. Do that, but I think you should choose something else to do. You know, it's so interesting. I was thinking about like my weight loss, my weight journey, and my health journey, or whatever, and being plus size, you know, and being at different levels of the sizes and so forth. And for me, I've always felt confident in my skin every single time, whatever size I was, always. And so I can't speak on people who, you know, who have not had that because I have empathy for that. Like I understand and I get it. Like I'm not even saying that that's not possible. I'm just telling you that has not been my journey. I've had other things that I fought with, but not that. You know, I've always felt like, okay, I look okay to be a woman. I ain't the baddest in the room, but I ain't the ugliest. This is how I always felt. And I feel like, you know, the ones that's for me, hey, they with me. It is what it is. Hey, you know. So I ain't never had that issue. So I don't know what that is, you know, or how that feels or what that is for a person, etc., to not have that confidence. And it didn't even take me time. I don't know. I've never felt that way. Because I've been loved from outside of my family or whatever. And so But I've definitely had other things, and I could see how that could lead you to that. I just wanted to have this conversation because things are going to get intense pretty quickly this month. And as things continue to change in the world and we're working through getting from the old world to the new world, you need to be in your best physical health as possible. Don't not necessarily athlete, not be go to the extreme. You can if you want to, but the main things is be able to do push-ups, be able to walk up a flight of stairs without breathing heavy, be able to run a mile if you need to, be able to jog a mile, those basics first, and then go to that level. And so if you get to a point where you're skinny and you can't do those things, that is the opposite of getting healthy, guys, because they have taught you that skinny is just automatic health. And it's such a thing as like fatty liver, and they're saying like everybody's starting to have heart attacks. Doesn't matter what size you are, they're starting to see this across the board. Doctors are telling you this. All you gotta do is listen to doctors. They'll be telling you like people are getting this, they're having this, and they're skinny, and they're this like this. So it really is about like how you handle stress. What is your stress levels? How are you maintaining your health? What is your physical activity? That's what it's really coming down to. It's not just the skin. You got to remember you are in a propaganda, game theory, um, predictive history machine, especially in America. So never forget that. Their objective is not to make you healthy. They're not selling you anything ever to make you healthy. They'll put things out in the market to sell it. Because if it was really concerned about health, everybody would have grocery stores. The food wouldn't be the cost it was. You'll have organic stuff everywhere. They wouldn't play with the seeds. I mean, it's very simple stuff that would just happen before that. We would have healthcare. So when you see something hit the market and everybody's like, oh, this is making you lose weight, no one is talking about the other end of it. Is it truly making you healthy, or is it just making you skinny and unhealthy so that more money can come out of it? I'm gonna say the silent part out loud for you guys, because many people are scared to say it because so many people have gone into it. But my objective is to get y'all to the new world, not to lose y'all in the old world. I'm here to midwife y'all to the new world. As things continue to happen, you have to begin to use your discernment to understand what it is, what's happening. You guys are smart. Stop jumping on the bandwagons and the crazies and the trends right now. Because you don't want to deal with what happens after that trend dies and it's something else. Because I'd rather you be here healthy and living than healthy and barely having a life. The whole point of living on earth, even with all the craziness, is to enjoy it, baby. To get out here and have fun with it. Even though we out here playing a game, we out here dealing with all this nonsense and all these shenanigans, we're here to get everybody to the other side. We supposed to be out here living life. If you can't live life and you're not connected to your chakras, that is not what you want. Don't let these people tell you that. Let me go, because I got to get done what I'm doing and go do something else. I wasn't even going to make this live, but I did because that's been on my mind. So let me just say that and bid y'all all good day.